right, so let's do talk now with exactly 30 minutes after 8 here on the AM show. I see a few of you have been commenting on some of the issues. More messages on WhatsApp on 0560 800,000. Maranatha JT is a youth advocate, and my colleague Jennifer Kramer is also joining us for this session. Good morning to you, ladies.
Good morning.
I want us to start with, maybe because I've just had that conversation with Mr. Austin Tewu and labor and the demonstration on Wednesday. Tiwa, what do you think?
Okay.
You've just finished with your masters.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. I think that's when you push some people to the point where they can't survive. These things are bound to happen, and then we are in Ghana all the time. Tewu is complaining. So then it looks like people are just fed up. People are just fed up with strikes and strikes. That indeed they need certain things. It's sad that people complain of their salaries and then they are assured you get it, and then it gets to a point they don't get it. And trust me, these are people who are not highly paid, so to speak. So when the minimum amount of money they are getting, when it doesn't also come as they are demanding, it's sad and it's pathetic. These people are doing quote and unquote menial jobs sometimes on the university campus and other tertiary campuses. And so if they are not getting their monies, how do they really take care of their wards, their dependents and stuff like that? So to me, I really think that they are when they want to go on strike and demand what they are supposed to get.
I get worried because it looks like it's just the strike action. That's the language, I think it's been said over and over again. That's the language that the employer understands. And so they keep speaking that same language. But Jennifer, you've been on campus. Indeed, you still go on campus.
Yes, I'll be there in about 2 weeks.
Okay. I'm wondering how this action would affect campus life.
Well, it's going to slow things down a lot. I'm expecting delays in registration, subsequent delays in lectures as well, because obviously if you can't register for your classes, there's no classes which is going to take place. I'm expecting, on an aesthetic level, campus, the lawns and everything will be really dirty. There'll be a lot of rubbish and all the rest lying about. I'm expecting some unsanitary conditions if we're not careful. So yeah, in a couple of weeks, the campuses will really feel it. Right now, at home, maybe not so much, but when we get onto campus, then we'll really feel the impact.
So what do you think the response should be, either from government, the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission? Because effectively, they say there's a big gap between junior and senior staff members, and it has to be fixed somehow.
Tewu has complained. They have come out and said that they do want this bridge between junior and senior staff to be bridged. We did a story on that earlier, I think like late last year thereabouts, when they started saying, okay, they started complaining that, look, this is becoming ridiculous. The difference in salaries was just too much. My sincere hope is that they don't give out some knee-jerk reaction that, okay, just to settle the strike, we're just going to give maybe a 10 or 15%. I really do hope that a policy is put in place that, okay, if you're junior, you work for 2-3 years, this is the amount you're supposed to get. After 2 or 3 years, you get a certain increment and so on and so forth. So people can see the progress in their lives. Not, okay, you work for 5 years and your salary is fixed like that, regardless of what happens to the economy. I think that's really the issue now.
Tiwa, we feel for these teachers and the workers on campus, but this is also not a good time to be asking for money from government, really. We have to care about the economy, shouldn't we?
Okay, we should, but then again, when is a good time? I seriously think they are being strategic. It's an election year. The government doesn't want issues to be coming up here. So really, this is the time. Because if they don't demand for it now, when are they really going to? Are they going to wait for 2016 elections to be over? Then they wait for 2017 and come out? Who is really going to mind them? Let's be realistic in Ghana here. So I really think they're just being strategic. And indeed, they have the demands, and indeed, they need them. So even if I were part of Tewu, I would come now, like 2016, early 2016. It's a perfect time.
Just before we start school.
Yeah.
Just before you start school. So you come to school and then things are delaying and students are frustrated. And then the the government is under pressure. And seriously, as you said early on, it's bad. That's the only thing the government's under strike.
Yeah. So earlier I spoke to Dr. Mr. Austin Game on both the general labor situation and then specifically Tewu as well. And on that conversation, Mr. Justice Yangson, who is General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association, has a few things to say, essentially disagreeing with Mr. Game. So Dr. Justice Yangson joins us now via phone. Hello, Dr. Yangson. Good morning to you.
Yes, hi, Marie. Good morning.
Yes, sir. I hope you're well.
I'm good. I haven't seen you this year, so happy New Year.
Many happy returns, sir. Thanks.
Yes.
So what's the point that you want to make?
Well, let me say this, or let me put this caveat up. I'm not speaking in my capacity as the Deputy General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association. No, I'm speaking in my personal capacity as a lawyer and somebody who also has an in-depth knowledge when it comes to labor matters in Ghana. Mr. Singame sought to create an impression. The workers' demonstration, or the demonstration to be organized by labor or being organized by labor, is something that if there's any differences between government and labor, it should be referred to the National Labor Commission. I think that the National Labor Commission, with all due respect to him, has no locus in this matter. That is not a forum for such an activity. This is purely a constitutional matter, i.e., the Constitution has guaranteed the people of Ghana the right to demonstrate over anything that borders on their lives and whatever the government of the day will want to do. Organized labor in this circumstance is akin to any pressure group that will want government policies changed for the better. If you look at the current situation, organized labor of both private and public sector workers. Now, if Mr. Ghana thinks that this is an issue between the employer and the employee, for which reason it should be sent to the Labor Commission, respectfully, the Labor Commission cannot do much. Because which employer will you send? Is it government of Ghana as an employer, or private citizens who own companies whose members are also part of organized labor? Because such private citizens cannot, under any circumstances, undo what Parliament has legislated. The bill, the Energy Sector Levies Act that has been passed, went to Parliament as a bill sponsored by government of Ghana, for the people of Ghana. So under this particular context, what Labour is seeking to do, the Labour Commission cannot come in and even rule. How can you say that Labour Commission should take over or people should submit themselves to Labour Commission? At best, only talk to government, not under any particular mandate, because they can assume it that you go to them, negotiations break down, all the processes break down, and let's say there's arbitration. Can Labour Commission compel government of Ghana to change its law? Because this is a law. The Energy Sector Levy is a law. Government will have to listen to Labour. Labour is acting responsibly as a group of Ghanaians who feel the pain of what is happening. Like all other countries, Labour will always stand up when governmental policies are not in the interest of the people. So in this matter, it's about a governmental policy, not a workplace issue, i.e. a group of workers who have a particular issue at their workplace, for which reason the National Labour Commission can come in and settle. No.
Okay.
It's not like that at all.
Okay. Dr. Yangson, are you joining the demonstration? Would we see you hit the streets personally?
Well, God willing, I'm sure we'll all be there.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Yes.
Hello, Dr. Yangson? Okay. Yes, sir. Was there something you wanted to say? Hello? All right. So that's Dr. Justice Yangson, On any other day, he would be speaking in his capacity as Deputy General Secretary of the Ghana Medical Association, but on this particular matter this morning, in his capacity as a lawyer. All right, so are you ladies joining the demonstration on Wednesday?
I'm working.
I don't think so, but...
Is it important? I mean, do you identify with the reasons for which they're hitting the streets?
I think I do, but I'm just not going to participate. But seriously, in our economy right now, when things are not working out for people, and then if the laws allow for you to demonstrate, I think they are justified enough to do it. So personally, it's okay, they are doing it, but I'm just not going to join demonstration.
But do you feel that the petroleum levy should be taken off and then the tariff increment should come down?
Of course. You know, there's this interesting thing. We bought lights like 2 weeks ago, no, like 10 days ago, and last night. So I actually slept in the dark. And then I was like, what is happening? Like, it used to take us like a month and 10 days and stuff like that. I'm affected, personally.
So something that used to take a month and 10 days took how many days?
It took me like 10 days now. So we were complaining. I live with a couple of friends. We are 2 in an apartment. So the whole of last night, we were just talking. So we slept like 3 a.m. there because there was no lights. And then I was like, so something that we could take for 40 days, and now we are using it for just 10 days. Indeed, we're making arguments like we have consistent lights now, but it still doesn't make sense from 40 days to 10 days, same amount of money. So
but you still won't go out even though you're affected?
Yeah,
you want somebody else to make noise on your behalf?
I would have loved to join, but for other things I would have to do. I won't be able to go.
Excuses. Okay. Let's talk about this issue. Former AIDS ambassador. I don't even know how to approach this one. So the controversial former AIDS ambassador, Gijo Mensah, is demanding compensation from President John Mahama as part of terms of service rendered for a Ghana AIDS Commission campaign 5 years ago. In a statement released on Sunday, Gijo said President Mahama, who was then the Vice President of the Republic, engaged her in an AIDS campaign he launched. But just a year into the project, the Director General of the AIDS Commission, Dr. Angela L. Adaza, terminated her contract, leaving her homeless with no compensation. And this is a quote from that statement. The termination letter affected me both physically and psychologically for years, and I struggled many times with sleepless nights, even as of now. But since my termination wasn't made public, schools and churches continue to engage my services. End of quote. It is on the basis of these developments that Gijo Mensah is demanding compensation from the president, who, according to her, was the chairman of the AIDS Commission at the time. The AIDS Commission, I must say, has also issued a statement, and I'll read a bit of it for you. I'll skip the beginning and let's get to this point. She, and when I say she, that's Gijo Mensah, signed a contract with the Ghana AIDS Commission in August 2011. On November 12, 2012, the Ghana AIDS Commission formally terminated the contract on account of breach of her terms of contract. Even though she failed to respond to the Ghana AIDS Commission for full exit debrief, she continued to enjoy the safe shelter provided for her as a heart-to-heart ambassador, even after termination of her contract by the Ghana AIDS Commission until August 2014, when the lease expired. She subsequently went public to deny her HIV status, calling into question the integrity of the Ghana AIDS Commission by claiming that the Ghana AIDS Commission had used a non-HIV person for its HIV campaign, thus alleging fraud on the part of the Ghana AIDS Commission and turning the donor community and other partners against the Ghana AIDS Commission, leading to months of unending investigations. Her confession now further exonerates the Ghana AIDS Commission of any wrongdoing in relation to her eligibility to have participated in the heart-to-heart campaign. Okay, she goes a step further to make a claim that she is being deprived of compensation due her. Ghana AIDS Commission states categorically that it has never received a petition from Ms. Joyce Mensah requesting payment of any compensation allegedly due her. As a public entity, the Ghana AIDS Commission may only consider requests that are formally received based on their merits and demerits. Ms. Mensah is hereby advised to formally submit a petition to the Ghana AIDS Commission for consideration. I don't know. Are you tired of this matter already? What do you think, Jennifer?
I think she should, maybe somebody should do an independence test and find out whether she is really HIV. But does she have AIDS right now? What is the situation?
So we thought she did when she was made an ambassador. She has an AIDS patients and blah, blah, blah. And then she comes out to say that, no, I didn't have it.
So after spending, what, 5-6 years as a celebrated ambassador, sharing your story with everybody, you come out and you say, no, I don't have AIDS. After you finish coming out to say that, putting the Ghana AIDS Commission under so much embarrassment, so much inquiry, under investigation, a donor support dries up, everybody starts giving them the side eye, we're not sure what is going on over there. Now she's come back to say that, wait a second, you owe me money.
And I have AIDS now.
And I have AIDS now.
Exactly.
So the AIDS disappeared and has come back. Or what? I think we just have to do an independent investigation. We should just test her. Does she have it? Does she not have it? So we know what. So then everybody can take a step forward from there.
Tewu.
Okay, so I was reading this morning. I'm like, you at this point you are not even sympathetic anymore. At this point, you are tired of this woman, because and then so I was saying that. Is it that when she came out, she says she doesn't have it, and she actually has it, and now they've blocked her chances to get all these drugs, and now she has to come back and say, okay, I have it, so that she can actually go for all these medicines, or she still needs the money, or it's just the publicity she wants. I was also thinking maybe she needs some psychological help or something, you know, with all these Ghanaians being on her after coming back to say I don't have it and all that. So like there's something really wrong with that woman that we have to take a look at and not just talk about it and let it go. We really have to find out what is wrong with her.
But she gives some kind of insights. She says there was some kind of psychological effect on her. So she came up with all these things. I mean, she made all these things up.
So was the psychological effect on when she was diagnosed with AIDS, or when she was the AIDS ambassador, or was it on her family when she came out as an AIDS ambassador? That she's no longer the AIDS ambassador and she's not receiving all that recognition. Now she's being psychologically affected. Where you know, it's like,
do you
at what
empathize?
point do you start believing
You're all
her?
ladies. Do you empathize with her?
No.
I think I used to, but to this morning, I'm somebody who is really in for women, but I was like, no, this lady pushed you in a position where you just can't be in for her anymore. So I don't really empathize with her anymore.
Wow.
I just feel like at this point she's just exploiting Ghanaians, so to speak. I mean, I used to like her, I used to fall in love with her. Like, this is somebody who's been this bold. And at this point, I'm tempted to think that she's just joking with all of us. She's not being real with Ghanaians. So you just don't get to empathize with her anymore.
All right, we'll have to leave our conversation here. Maranatha Ejay Tewu is a youth advocate, and our own Jennifer joining us on this conversation. Thank you, ladies. Enjoy the rest of the day. For us here at Ketsi Airtel, we'll bring you entertainment with Gladys right here. Stay with us.